going on, YouTube? Look at this rusty trailer I bought. 6 feet by 12 feet. Dude wanted $300. Facebook Marketplace yesterday. Immediately I drove out and offered him cash. And I gave him what he asked for. I didn't even try to talk him down. 6 foot by 12 foot. Look at this thing. Needs a little welding right here on the gate. That's fine. We can bend that back and weld it. All the metal needs to be sanded. It needs 2 new fenders. Alright. This one's shot on the inside. Yeah, this one's shot on the inside and there's rotted holes. It's bent, cracked up. This one's just completely done for, except for the shield. So anyway, I'm going to sand her down. One of the lights didn't work, he told me. So I put on my magnetic lights, as you can see. They're magnetic, but I still taped them. Just to be safe. You know what I mean? He was an hour away. So anyway, $300 cash. I plan on turning this into hopefully $1,500 to $1,800 if I can. I'm going to try. It's going to need a couple $100 worth of work though, and a few hours labor. Sanding, painting, welding. Yeah. So let's get to work. So far, looking better. I gotta cut this piece off. Got the fenders off. Look at all that rust. All them. Okay. So a couple hours in, I had to take a axe or a little axe and chop, bang, 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 at all the flaky spots. And as you can see on the ground, now you can't see it really well, but there is rust, chips and flakes everywhere. I haven't sanded this side. I've just scraped at it and got, see that big, all these big patchy areas? That was from hitting them with a hammer and getting the flakes to fall. See, I missed a couple. Anyway, I got the inside as well, around the whole trailer except for the gate. Haven't done much of the gate yet. That is the inside. Now I took some rust reformer. Oh yeah, this has a winch, but the cords are all cut up and rusty, and so I gotta take all this off. I might just rewire new lights or splice new wires to the lights. Yeah, see, I painted over this I still gotta sand that, but I just wanted to use this old can of rust reformer and see what it would look like. Took the fenders off, obviously. See, I chopped away at some again, so this rust reformer, you can see the scrapes a little bit. So see my nail? Rust-Oleum rust reformer, if you sand it down really good, you're supposed to clean the surface as well. I didn't. I just sanded it down, so there's still like powdery rust. But it does really good as a primer. It really does. See, those are all the spots I chopped away at. I painted this part first and then wanted to see if I could see any flakes. So all the rust you see is me scraping it again. But anyway, it's coming along. So yeah, I got both the fenders off completely. There is a little bit of metal here that I have to still sand off, like right there. And I'm gonna have to add one of these, weld one of those over here, so I can put a new fender on. And I still got the inside of this and all of that to sand down really good. I'm gonna wait on the gate because that's gonna take a while to do. So after I get this done and painted or primed with rust reformer, I'm going to try to get the underbelly, cross members. And I got to get, obviously, the inside. Crap, hold on. See if I can get a better look. Yeah, see the insides of this. I scraped a lot of it off. You can see all the rust on them. The tires are pretty decent, good tread. The tread's not that bad. And there's no dry rot or cracks. But I do not like those rims. That's disgusting. And it's very flaky, dude. Look at that. That's awful. Just comes right off. So anyway, I took the winch and all that stuff off and those cords. I knocked off all the crazy stuff, like the built up chunks on this side. But I still have to use a needle scaler and sand all this down, because you can see that's pretty flaky and rusty. So both of the tires were a little wobbly. There's a little bit of play, so I just took that wheel off. I'm about to do the bearings. I already did that one, and I put a spare on that one. And I'm about to do this one right now. So come to my garage and I'll show you. Okay, so here's the bearing. This is a seal. I got a 2-pack, obviously, because I already did the other one. I didn't show you guys that. So that seal goes right there. I gotta scrape that off, all that gunk, and then pop that one out. And there's the castle nut. And right here is a washer. Right there, a washer. And the bearings, as you can see, I think he greased them. The guy who sold me this, somebody did. But they haven't really been cleaned and re-greased in a long time. They're not bad. They're not in bad shape. They're just dirty. So I'm going to clean that out, re-grease them, and put the new seal in, and we're good to go. It's cleaned up. Okay, so these ones are good. I cleaned them out decent. And if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm repacking them with new grease. See that right there? See how that old dark grease is coming out? The new grease is pushing through, and then it pops out right there. So that's old dark nasty grease. I spray them and spray them and spray them with brake cleaner, or parts cleaner I should say, which helps with grease and nasty dirt and grime. But you just can't get it all. You can, but it takes forever. So I'm just gonna repack them after I do this one. Push them. See all that dark shit? See all that dark grease versus the red grease? Yeah. And keep working away at it. Okay. So I got the boards off. They were rotted in many spots, and it was a lot worse than I thought. So, and when I took the boards off, I realized some of these cross members are rotted. So this one is rotted all throughout here, and it's very flimsy. So I started cutting it right there, but I figured I'd record to show you before I cut it off. Oops. This one, that one's got some holes in it. It's not horrible though. This one is rotted. There's a crack, a rot hole. And over here, that's pretty bad. And I stood on it, and that thing is flimsy, dude. So this middle one is good. Yeah, there's 3 that I think I'm just gonna cut out 4 of them, to be honest with you. This one here too. It's rotted at the end over there, and it's attached to the A-frame there, the part that hooks up to your truck and whatever. So I'm going to cut most of these off. I already did the bearings on both sides. They're back on. But now I'm noticing the leaf springs. Now I'm noticing that the leaf springs have a lot of play in them. So all this has a lot of play in the bushings. You can't tell right now, but yeah, when I took the tire off, you could lift up these leaf springs and these things were moving like so loose. So I'm probably going to replace the leaf springs. So on Amazon you can get some decent ones with good reviews for $60 or $75, somewhere in there. I might pay the $75 just to get the better ones, I don't know. So there's another thing added. I got $77 worth of metal here. And I had to get new boards, which was about $130 for regular boards. And they're regular like indoor boards, but I'm gonna paint and undercoat one side of them to protect the wood, and then I'm gonna stain the top part of them. Yeah, so spending more money as I go. I'm probably gonna put new lights on here too. I took the old ones out. I left the wiring. Yeah, let's get to it. Okay guys, sorry, but I had to get a bunch of this work done and had to charge my camera, and I need to get this done. So I actually did quite a bit of work that I didn't record, but I'll show you where I'm at right now. So I took off I got a lot of that rust gone, chopped off some of those cross members, most of them. I left 2 of them, but now that I'm looking at them, I'm probably gonna just cut those off and weld on 2 new ones there. So anyway, it took me forever to get all this rust off. And then I painted it with rust reformer, and I already started a certain area of truck bed liner. Rust-Oleum truck bed cover or whatever coating. It's like a textured, some of that is rust, but you can see how it's like bumpy. It's like a textured look. You can see right there, a lot of that's flat black. That's the rust converter, or the rust reformer. So anyway, I had to weld. Hold on. I had to weld some new piping in the A-frame part right there, as you can see. I didn't do the greatest job because I'm not good at welding piping. It was very thin metal. So anyway, and I already ran wires through. I haven't hooked up the lights yet though, but it took me a while to run the wires through. So anyway, all these cross members are nice and strong. I can stand on them. They're welded in there good, welded there, welded under, and on the other side, all of them. So I can I'm like 245 pounds, 255 maybe with all my clothes on and my boots. So I've been jumping on a lot of them, and they're good. They're sturdy. These 2 though, this one, I'll show you. So this cross member, you can tell that dude must have put some weight on here because that's bent right there and on the other side. But this one, there's a good layer of metal that has chipped off of this throughout the years and what I did. So that's kind of flimsy. This one too. You should not be able to twist an angle iron piece like that. Like, yeah, 6-foot pieces, you jump on it, 200 and something pounds, you're going to have a little play. But that's a lot of play just for my hand to be able to squeeze that. And as you can see, there is tiny hole, bigger hole, and obviously you can't miss those. So I'm going to take out these 2 and probably weld a new one on. And I don't know why. This was actually gapped. These 2 were actually gapped further apart. See right here, you can tell. That's the old one. And then that one is the closest by. That's like 3 feet distance. So I welded this one a smidge closer. I should have welded it like in here somewhere. But anyway, I'm probably going to take that one out, move it down here a little bit. Take that one out. Maybe move it a hair over too. Oh yeah. I don't know if I recorded it in the last video, or that one video I did. This piece of metal was along all the way along, and it was attached to the A-frame part, like the tongue. So I cut this out because it was rotted. This was actually not too bad though. And then the trailer was kind of wobbly, like because the support wasn't there. So what I did was I cut a 2-inch line, a little bigger than 1/8 thick, and I cut right there and then down, and on both sides, hammered this in, and then had to get it under each side of the frame, which was a pain in the butt, as you can see. And then I welded all the way around them, not just on the top. And I had to hammer it, bong, bong, and slowly get this to inch under this side while I hammered in from outside over here. And that was in there nice and sturdy. So I figured out I'll keep this. And then I found some 2x1-inch angle iron, cut a piece out that fit, welded. And then there was a hole or two I burnt through. So I put JB Weld just to make it pretty. But no, it's in there good. I didn't actually just JB Weld it. I just filled up a burnt hole or two. I think I had, yeah, right there was one, and over here. I just put some JB Weld over those two spots. And then I put some stitch welds all the way down through. So that's nice and sturdy now. You can see my piping. Brand new wire. Yeah, so new pipe. I left the old pipe in there and just welded this stuff to it. I took out the old leaf springs and I got this sanded down and painted. Now you can see some of the bumps. I grinded that metal down that I showed you. I gave up on trying to get it perfect because I'm going to put a fender right there anyway. So it's going to have a back plate. And I was like, why am I doing this? So I just made them smoother and smaller so they don't push the fender out too far. But I'll be fine. I didn't even bother trying to get the bolts off of this thing. They were so on there and rusty, and they were creaking, and it was just a pain. I grabbed the cutoff wheel and a grinding wheel and just cut everything. Here's the old leaf springs. You can see I cut the hangers off, the shackle straps, whatever. This thing is just spinning freely. They come with nylon bushings. I'll show you that in a second. But anyway, yeah, these are so rusty, dude. I didn't even, I'm like, whatever. I just, obviously, getting new ones was a good idea. And, like I said, I chopped that off, chopped those off, chopped a bolt that was up here off. That thing was not coming undone, dude. Not without a torch and a lot of heat, a lot of fire. So, yeah. You can see that old nylon bushing. They work, but this is what happens. So you can get the wet bushings or whatever, steel or piping, whatever. In those you have to grease, which is fine. But you should, as long as you keep greasing them, they probably last longer than those. But anyway, see, I got my new heavy-duty shackle straps. These just came in today. New nylon bushings, huh? Looks nice and sexy. They match up to the other ones. Perfect. Got my U-bolts in my plate. And I got the shackle strap bolts. And yeah, let's get her on there. Look at that. Nice shiny new nuts on there. New leaf springs. New shackle straps. Yeah. Both sides are going to look like this when I'm done. Looks like I got into a fight, doesn't it? Well, I didn't. I'm in my garage. It's cold out. Okay? I shouldn't be painting and welding and stuff with the door closed. I mean, welding is not a big deal, but I'm welding some stuff I already painted. So there's burnt paint. So I put like 2 masks. I put 2 masks over my face. You can see. But anyway, I wanted to show you. My fenders came in the other day and I forgot to record about them. And they came with the backs. I got to weld the backs on. I got to sand everything and paint it. I already painted the backs. So as you can see, here's one fender. Right. There's the other fender. Oop. Trying not to scratch my new paint. Whatever. I got more painting to do anyway. I'll touch it up. Anyway, I did weld the back on that one. Oop, as you can see those ugly, pretty welds? No, but anyway, yeah, it's a little warped, the back one. I think it got hot and I put too much weight on it, but it's all good. It's thin metal, so. Here's the other one. Back here. Alright, so I'm going to weld those together. And then I'm going to put them on, obviously weld them on. I got both leaf springs done. Sorry, it's a mess in here. I'm literally like, I got stuff scattered all over. Anyway, I got this leaf spring on now. And you guys already seen the other one. I got my welder, my drill, rags, gloves. Everything's just scattered about. I can't record everything. I wanted to get this done like a week ago, but I wasn't able to. So, right now I'm going to try to weld these. Got to sand the fenders down a little bit, clean them off real good, degrease them, because they come with a little bit of a grease on them. I'll probably already put them on the trailer, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like after they're on the trailer. We're getting close. Okay, so I might have welded the fenders on and painted them without showing you me doing the work, but I'm sorry, I gotta get this done. Just when I think I'm almost done, I forgot I had to paint and weld one piece of angle iron on to the front where the boards go under. So here's the front, right? Here's the tongue. Anyway, this piece right here, because when you put the boards in, they go in here, right? And you bend them up to get them in, and then you hit the wood out from underneath them, or you could use a jack and lower the jack, and then the boards will straighten. And I forgot to do that. So I had to paint this first, and then I had to sand off some stuff, and I welded it. Right here I got a pretty decent weld. There we go. I got that one. I got one in the middle. And I got that one down there. Oh yeah, so here. This is the tires. This is one of the tires. The other one is in the garage. The one below it, down there that you can see, that was a spare I took with me, just in case. But these are rusty. I'm not going to be able to smooth those out, but I'm going to knock down as much rust as I can. Well, I am not done, obviously, but, hold on. So, there's a lot of chunky, flaky rust. Got to bang all that out and then sand it with a wire wheel, discs, whatever. Okay, so I sanded her down, knocked as much rust off as I could. As you can see, there's still some old paint. And that is the finished product for the outside. Now I'll show you the inside. And this is the inside of the tires. So they're ready to go. There's the finished product. As far as the frame goes anyway. Okay. Look at that. See? These are the new lights. Look at that. Okay, so this is one of my trailers. But anyway, I had to go get the wood. See, I just spray painted all the bad sides, the ones that looked kind of rough, marked up and dirty. I try to find the worst side of each board, and I spray painted those black. So those are going to be the part of the board that faces the road. These ones, there's 10 boards here. I got some over to my side, but these are going to all be stained. But right now, see, there's codes here. I am removing all these with some sandpaper, as you can see. Voila. So this board now looks better than the other ones. I wonder why that is. I'll tell you. So I have an oil pan filled with old fluids that I took out of my vehicle. Transmission fluid, differential fluid, right? I see a lot of people on YouTube using used engine oil, which I have a bunch of, but it kind of smells stronger than this stuff. So I'm going to use this and see how it looks. Right now it's looking pretty good. I mean, it's got a little bit of a red tint to it. See, you can see the rag. And I tried it out on some other wood a few days ago. It actually turned out really good. It helps protect the wood, obviously. Almost any oil will absorb into wood and protect it. Because, you know, water just kind of drips off of wood or oil. But I want it to look good, so I'm going to try and see what I can do. I'll show you what the outcome is. Ooh, look at that, baby. Look at that. Almost done. I just got to put some boards here. I took the trailer jack off my big trailer because Harbor Freight didn't have a new one that I wanted, so I took the one off my trailer, painted it with enamel, and I'm going to put it right there, put the boards on, and I have to put reflective tape on here. Look, those tires are looking good. Then I got to put the new center caps on. Everything else is good though. Lights work. Turning signals work. See, I already got 2 pieces of reflective tape on. Side marker lights work. I got the new heavy duty chains on here. I couldn't figure out how I'd put them, hook them up here. So I got a quick link. It's rated for a really high weight and attached them that way. Those are big heavy duty chains. I could have drilled a hole and connected them to a bolt, but I didn't want to put another hole through this, you know. So I just put them on there with the quick links. Had to rewire a little bit of the ground. But yeah, and I got to screw the boards down. We'll be good to go. Man, this thing turned out good. Yeah, buddy. Got to put the reflective tape on the back. Oop. Okay. Make sure you clean and dry the surface you're putting it on. Obviously, or else it won't stick good. Oh man, that first one's a little crooked, isn't it? I painted these with black enamel. Of course, there's handprints now. But they're pretty good. Move that out of the way. That one goes there. Nice and snug. This one goes right behind it. Nice and snug. I just got to bolt the last two, or the last one, and it'll hold the front And here, I'll show you guys. You want to see a closer look? How does that look? That looks good, doesn't it? Yeah, buddy. I finished the trailer, as you can see, and I sold it. I posted it for $2,100, our best offer. So here's the deal. I spent around $1,200 on everything. Paint, boards, chains, reflective tape, drill bits, screws, lights, whatever. Everything that I had to buy, leaf springs, around $1,200, and $300 of that was the trailer itself. I posted it for $2,100, got a couple $1,500 offers. Literally, almost everybody was like, you take $1,500? So I posted around 5 or 6 p.m. or something like that, and then the next morning I wake up, I got an offer for $1,900. Someone said, you take $1,900? And I said, sure. Made plans to meet up like 3 hours after that. The kid was like two hours away. He gave me $1,900 and he left with the trailer. So you would think, oh, you made $700 profit. That's not bad. Technically, no, I didn't. I put so many hours in that, so many trips downtown. I broke a drill bit and I'm out of drill bits and I got to go get more. And then I go down and get that, come back. I kept thinking I had enough paint like 10 times, and then I'd have to go down and get more rust reformer, or even at one point I had to buy another can of the truck bed coating, which was almost $30. It's April in New York State, so we have some cold days and cold nights still. All right, in a couple of those videos you could see my breath when I was talking in the camera. It was like 20 degrees and I'm trying to paint. Not happening. So I had to bring a heater in and paint one space at a time and wait for it to dry. And it's freezing in my garage. There's no heat. My garage isn't attached to my house. It's like separate. So there's electric to it. You can plug in heaters, but there's no heat coming in and out of that thing unless you plug in heaters. The wiring, removing all that rust, all of that was so time consuming. It takes time, you know? And it's freezing out. So it took, in all the trips back and forth, downtown and back, like I didn't get all my money back for, I didn't get all the money I should have for the time, for the trips, gas reimbursement, labor, whatever. And, I mean, I'm not mad about it, $700 up, but I could have made more than that doing another job. In all those hours, yeah. I didn't keep track of the hours, but it was more than a 40-hour work week, trust me. And some of you might say, oh, it shouldn't have taken you that long. Well, like I said, you got to wait for paint to dry. And then I'm having to repaint things because it didn't adhere properly and spend more money on that. And then you're talking time to drive around town. So anyway, kid came and picked it up. He offered me $1,900. I took it. So this part probably shouldn't even be mentioned, but I think it's funny. You guys might find this funny. Couple hours later, or later that night, I should say, I was scrolling through trailers again, thinking maybe I could find another deal on a trailer and do this again. And I passed one that looked just like the one I sold. Now, if you noticed in the video, there's 3 black boards on the tongue of the trailer, like the A-frame part there in the front.
I don't ever see anybody do that. People put toolboxes there and sometimes like raised, expanded metal, like mesh there or something maybe. Never seen wood there. I'm sure people have done it. I've just never seen it personally. Not the way I did it anyway. So I see this one posted. There's one picture of it from the front and you can see that black wood in the front. So that caught my eye. And I seen the side marker lights were red. And I'm like, nobody uses red side marker lights. I like them just because I like the way they look. But most, like, every trailer you find has usually got orange side marker lights. So I was like, yo, and I clicked on it, and then, but the reflective tape wasn't on there. It's like they took it off. Same kid that bought it from me is now posted it hours later for $2,500. I posted it for 21. He knows he's not getting 25 for it. So I'm guessing, I don't know what was wrong or what happened. I was honest about everything in there. Everything seemed to go all right. He did seem a little uncomfortable, him and his buddy or brother, whatever, whoever he was to him. They seemed a little weirded out by the transferable registration thing, but I'm like, well, this is New York State. Like, they're from PA. PA is different. I don't know how they work, but I'm like, if your trailer is under like 1,000 pounds or like less than a 3,000 pound or more than I'm sorry. If your trailer weighs, I think, less than 1,000 pounds and the axle can hold like 3,000 or less, they give you a transferable registration. But if it's a heavy duty trailer that can hold like excavators, like 10,000 pounds and dual axles, and the trailer weighs like 2,500 pounds or whatever, they're going to give you a transferable title. So I explained that to him, but I'm like, dude, I didn't lie. I said title/registration, which means it's the same thing. Title/transferable registration. I didn't say title and transferable registration. So I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But and I was honest and said I didn't finish screwing all the boards down. I broke all my drill bits and I didn't have time to fix it. We set up plans and like 3 hours later, he came and picked it up and I was like, oh, I got to get those 3 boards done. I was looking for new drill bits, couldn't find them. Asked my dad if he had some. He's like, not of that size because they're small. And next thing you know, I'm like, I had to load that up and take it downtown and meet up with this kid. And so I told him like 3 of the boards, I think it was 2 or 3 of the boards weren't all the way screwed in. One side of them was, and I got most of the other side of the rest of them, but there was a couple I didn't. So when he was like, him and his buddy were jumping on it, and I was like, dude, you didn't even buy it yet, and they're jumping around on it. I'm like, what are you doing? So I don't know if it was that. I don't understand that part of it, but they were like, are you sure this is 6 feet wide? And I was like, dude, measure it. He's like, I don't have anything to measure it with. I didn't have a measuring tape on me. But I'm like, I'm 6'2", so I kind of like put my foot up and then like stretched out horizontally. And they laughed. Like, I was like, dude, it's 6 foot. He's like, oh, all right. I'm like, I don't understand that. Dude, I took pictures of the measurements. You can measure it right now. Like, they were about my height. Just like, get up there and you want to jump on it? Why don't you lay on it? And tell me I'm lying. Like, I don't know. So anyway, nothing was wrong with it. I gave him the transferable registration and a bill of sale. He paid me. They all seemed happy, whatever. So I don't know why he posted it later on. I don't know if he was trying to flip it or something made him uncomfortable. Where he's like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to deal with this New York State to PA transferable thing. So I'll try to sell it and get my money back. I don't know. I'm like, dude, that trailer looks good. I'm not tooting my own horn, but it came out great. Some don't even look that good that are brand new that came out of the store because they transfer, they sit, and they get a little rust on them, and they're like, oh, $2,500, $2,200, right? I don't know. It's his. He can do what he wants with it, and it's funny because I showed him this YouTube channel, and I was like, because I was like, what are you using it for? He's like, oh, we do lawn care. We got like 20 lawns or something like that. And I was like, oh yeah, I do lawn care too. And I was, they're growing. And I was like, look, and I showed them some videos. I'm like, and they're like, what's your YouTube called? And I gave it to them. So they might see this video. And if you're watching this, I know. I know what you did. I seen it. I seen you repost that. You do whatever you want with it. I'm just saying, it's kind of funny in a way. I'm like, whatever. I got my money. I got what I wanted. I would have taken $1,800, by the way. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I mean, I would have. I probably would have. I made some money for my work. Whatever. But you got a deal, dude. If you are watching this, you got a deal. That thing's sturdy. And I did a little extra to it that I didn't need to do. Most people wouldn't have even replaced those leaf springs or painted the tires or replaced the wood. Those wood boards that were on there were good. There was like 2 or 3 that had some rotted holes in it, but they were strong. Yeah, they were starting to crack a little. They would have held on another season or 2. But I still replaced them. I still replaced the cross members. Even the one that was kind of good, I felt I should just replace it and make it more strong. I bought heavy-duty gate pins instead of those cheap little flimsy ones that got the tiny little pin through it. These ones have big pins through it. I made sure like I got everything like I'd be using it. You know what I mean? So they got a hell of a deal. Worked out. So for those of you who watch this and are still watching, I doubt you're even listening to me talk right now. Sorry I didn't post more of me painting and more work being done, because I know people like to watch that. I just kind of showed a little bit of work, and then I skipped like a week later to show you everything I got done, and then skipped again, showed you a little work, and then skipped again. The trailer's finished. So I failed at that, but it had been like 3 weeks, and I needed to get this thing done and sold and spent enough money. Every time I try to record, I was like, oh crap, I only have 10 minutes left to record on this SD card, or I had to charge it. It's freezing. So I'm like, you know what? I might as well just do the work and then update you, So I do have to work on my other trailer though. I think I'm going to sell that one. Times are tough, and this has been sitting. But this does not need anywhere close to the same amount of work. It just needs a little touch-up paint and all the rusty spots. And it needs new boards and new lights. So you can watch me. I can try to record on that one of me doing that work, and you can see the process. But like and subscribe for more videos. Love you guys. Peace.